Do you feel sorry for Fergie? Once one of the most recognizable faces of the royal family, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, now stands at a crossroads, stripped of titles, distanced from the palace, and facing the collapse of everything that once defined her life. Her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, has officially stopped using his Duke of York title after years of public backlash over his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. The fallout has left the entire York family in turmoil, a royal branch once celebrated for its charm now drowning in scandal and silence. For decades, Fergie, Andrew, and their daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, presented themselves as a tight-knit, unconventional family. But behind the smiles and family portraits, tension was building, and now the illusion has completely shattered. For 20 years, Royal Lodge at Windsor stood as a symbol of the Yorks' resilience. Even after their divorce, Fergie and Andrew continued living together there, a rare arrangement even by royal standards. It was their sanctuary, 30 rooms, sprawling gardens, and memories of raising 2 daughters under the royal umbrella. But today, that same estate feels like a gilded cage. Insiders report that Fergie now spends less and less time there. The laughter and energy that once filled the lodge have been replaced by quiet tension. The two, once inseparable, now reportedly live completely separate lives under the same roof, if at all. And as Andrew's legal troubles deepen and financial pressures rise, the king's patience is wearing thin. Sources claim Charles may soon force Andrew out entirely, ending decades of privilege and protection. Prince Andrew's friendship with Jeffrey Epstein has haunted the monarchy for nearly a decade. Despite repeated warnings, Andrew continued associating with the disgraced financier even after his 2008 conviction. That decision destroyed him. He's lost his military titles, his royal patronages, and most importantly, the public's trust. The royal family's handling of the scandal has been equally controversial. Palace aides pushed for a quiet resolution, but every attempt to shield Andrew only made matters worse. Even Fergie, once his loudest defender, has reportedly begun to distance herself. While she continues to publicly express affection for her ex-husband, insiders say her focus has shifted toward self-preservation. Because when Andrew's world crumbled, so too did hers. If there's one constant in Fergie's life, it's her ability to survive scandal. She's faced tabloid humiliation, financial ruin, and royal rejection. And somehow, she always reappears. From her infamous 1992 toe-sucking photo scandal to being caught on tape in 2010 offering access to Andrew for cash, Fergie's resilience has become legendary. Now, she's preparing what could be her biggest reinvention yet. Sources claim she's considering another tell-all interview, possibly with Oprah Winfrey, the same platform that Meghan and Harry used to reshape their narrative. Her previous interviews painted her as misunderstood, emotional, naive, and loyal. This time, though, she reportedly plans to reframe her entire legacy. She allegedly blames senior palace courtiers, the men in gray suits, for cutting her off and using her as a scapegoat during Andrew's scandals. And once again, Fergie may be turning controversy into opportunity, a skill she's mastered for nearly 4 decades. With no royal title, no official duties, and Andrew's finances shrinking, how does Sarah Ferguson fund her lifestyle? She's long been known for her business ventures, from children's books and TV shows to endorsement deals and motivational speaking tours. But many of those partnerships have dried up as her royal ties weakened. Reports suggest she's been relying heavily on international connections, particularly in the Middle East, where royal status still carries influence. She's attended exclusive events, served as a consultant, and built relationships with wealthy benefactors. Critics say it's survival disguised as diplomacy, that Fergie uses her royal past to secure private deals. Supporters argue she's simply working hard to stay afloat. Either way, it's clear, Sarah Ferguson has no intention of disappearing. Inside the York family, things are more complicated than ever. Beatrice and Eugenie grew up in privilege, but without the full responsibilities of senior royals. For years, they defended their parents, believing that loyalty could outweigh scandal, but even they have limits. Following the latest revelations about Andrew's alleged financial missteps, both daughters have stepped back from public support. Eugenie's charity work, particularly with the Anti-Slavery Collective, has drawn attention for its financial transparency issues, while Beatrice has chosen a quieter life, focusing on her business career and family. Last Christmas was telling. While their parents stayed behind at Royal Lodge, Both sisters joined King Charles and Prince William's family at Sandringham. To royal insiders, that wasn't coincidence. It was a clear statement. The Yorks are divided. Sarah? Ferguson once said she would always stand by Andrew no matter what. But that vow seems to be fading. Friends claim she feels betrayed and abandoned, not only by Andrew, but by the entire institution that once embraced her. They say she still cares for him, but is unwilling to sacrifice what's left of her own reputation for his. When asked privately whether she would follow him if he were exiled to northern Scotland's Castle of May, one friend quoted her simply saying, "That chapter is over. Fergie, it seems, is now looking out for herself, a woman tired of carrying another's downfall on her shoulders." Insiders believe Fergie's next move will be a media comeback. It could take the form of a memoir, documentary, or high-profile interview, perhaps even a new Netflix project. Her goal? To control her own narrative before others rewrite it for her. She's watched how Meghan Markle, Harry, and even Princess Diana once used the media to tell their side of the story. And she knows the appetite for royal confessionals has never been stronger. But with that opportunity comes danger. If she speaks too freely, she risks exposing private palace details, something the king's advisors are desperate to prevent. Still, sources close to her insist she's determined to speak her truth, even if it costs her what little royal favor she has left. At Buckingham Palace, the York situation is seen as an ongoing headache. King Charles has made it clear. His vision for the modern monarchy is slimmed down, scandal-free, and focused on duty. In that plan, there's no place for Prince Andrew, and very little room for Sarah Ferguson. Royal aides say Charles feels sympathy for his brother, but cannot risk further damage to the crown's reputation. To the king, protecting the institution comes before protecting family. This means both Andrew and Fergie could soon find themselves formally cut off, financially and symbolically, as the monarchy reshapes for a new era. For Beatrice and Eugenie, the situation is heartbreaking. They still love their parents deeply, but each has quietly acknowledged the reality. The York family name is now more burden than blessing. Sources claim both sisters have been seeking distance, appearing at royal events selectively, focusing instead on motherhood and private lives. They want to protect their families from the chaos that engulfed their parents. And while they maintain personal contact with their mother, they've reportedly stopped defending their father in public. To many, it's the final sign that even the next generation of Yorks is moving on. Behind closed doors, the Yorks have always been the royal family's unpredictable wild cards, full of charm, controversy, and contradiction. They mixed glamour with scandal, love with loyalty, and somehow always survived. But this time feels different. Prince Andrew's reputation is beyond repair. Fergie's royal title is gone, her finances unstable. Their daughters are creating distance. What remains is a family fractured, bound together by history, but divided by survival. If Fergie chooses to tell her story again, she could save her public image, or destroy what's left of the York legacy. Because for all her warmth and humor, Sarah Ferguson has always lived by one unspoken rule. When the palace turns its back on you, you save yourself first. So what happens next? Will Sarah Ferguson make one final comeback, revealing secrets the palace would rather forget? Or will she quietly retreat, letting history decide her legacy? Whatever her choice, one truth remains. The York era is ending, and the monarchy will never look the same again. Tell us what you think. Is Fergie a victim of royal politics or the architect of her own downfall? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more royal stories and insider revelations.